Welcome to this reading today, this card reading. We're going to pick 3 cards from The Soul's Journey lesson cards by James Van Prague. Here are some lessons that you're going through at the moment. So we have 3 different piles to choose from. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Sounds like hemorrhoids, doesn't it? No hemorrhoids in these lessons, please, universe. No pain in the butt. Okay, so if you chose pile number 1, we have the first card is blame. So the energy of the lesson here is, really taking radical self-responsibility, isn't it? Like, where are you blaming yourself? Where are you blaming others and blaming yourself? Instead of really getting curious and looking and saying, well, before I came to Earth, I decided to learn some lessons as a human. I chose these lessons specifically. And then when you come down as a human, what we tend to do is we then tend to have resistance towards those lessons and see them as bad, whereas we've actually chosen them as our lessons. We've chosen to learn through these, and as humans, we tend to not want to learn. We tend to want to blame. We tend to want to project outwards. So what if we all of a sudden decided to look at it with curiosity, with more wisdom, with more emotional intelligence, with more awareness, self-awareness, and more emotional intelligence, where we're being more present and we're being inquisitive, we're being curious. Okay, if I chose this life and I chose these lessons, obviously they're going to come at me in different ways. Obviously, if I'm ignoring them, they're going to get, let's say, lower frequency and maybe even more regular, right? So it's really, really powerful for you to step in and go, okay, this is coming up for me, this resistance, this challenge, this painful experience that I'm going through, whether it be in your body, whether it be emotional, whether it be spiritual, whether it be mental. This is a challenge that is coming up for me. Why? Why? Where is the resistance? What am I making it mean about me? What are the patterns? What are my thought processes that have led me here? What are the patterns of my programming that have led me here? What are the things that I do on a daily basis that push me towards this resistance more and more, that magnetize me? Our thoughts are magnets, our words are magnets, our actions, our frequency, our energy, our coding, whatever you want to call it, is all a magnet to our desires. Are we magnetizing worry and stress and resentment and anger and blame? Or are we going to shift that frequency and say, no, the blame frequency to me is very victim. It's very victim in victimhood. This person did this to me. You're giving your power away. Or if you're blaming yourself, even worse, right? I'm giving my power away to someone else because I'm allowing them to do things to me. I'm allowing them to hurt me. I'm allowing them to have this over me emotionally, mentally. So it's time to take that radical self-responsibility back. That's the lesson here in this. And the next card, as you can see, is failure. This is, again, the emotional intelligence of saying, well, we all have fear of failure. We all have fear of success. We all have all these fears because really our subconscious just wants to keep us safe. So, of course, we're scared. Of course, when we want to make a change and we want something to be different, it can be scary. And that's having a human experience, isn't it? Of course it's going to be scary. Of course it's going to be different. Of course it's going to be a little bit challenging. But how boring if life was just cruisy, if life was just safe, if life was just nothing really happening. You'd be numb, you'd be bored, we thrive on challenge as humans. We thrive on overcoming. Watch a movie, it's the hero's journey. She was homeless, she did this and she did that, and she picked herself up and she fought and she loved and she opened herself up and she lived and she experienced. And that's what we're here for. We're not here for the fairy tale. We're here for the experiences. We're here for the learning, the adventures, the relationships, the heartache, all of it. Because without the heartache, we don't know what it feels like to feel the love, to feel the elation, to feel the passion. And so if you never opened your heart, you wouldn't feel that. How sad. So we need to be able to hold the duality of, actually, I can have failure and success at the same time. Life is duality. Life is me succeeding and failing at the same time. Failure is learning. Failure is experience. Every successful person has failed. Everyone. We all fail all the time. So being less critical, being less, criticizing yourself, being afraid of making mistakes, the perfectionist persona, control, like it's that real holding on tightly, isn't it? That failure, fear of failure. And then the third card we've got is purpose. I know what I'm here to do. And having that focus and that vision, like you are here to live a full life, to live a life of so much more than this. And you've got big desires and big dreams, and your soul desires it. Your humans are just scared of it, but your soul is just screaming for more. Your soul just says, I'm here for a higher purpose. I'm a light worker. I'm a healer. I want to help. I want to help myself. I want to help humanity. I want more than this. I want more than this programmed reality that we're living in. And so even though it might be frightening and a little bit scary and a little bit out of your comfort zone, because what if I fail? But what even is failure? And what even is success? And it's really a matter of getting your nervous system to a place of feeling safe no matter what. This is your purpose at the moment, to get your nervous system to a place of, even if I fail, I'm okay. It doesn't mean anything about me as a person. I'm already sovereign. I'm already perfect. I'm already an amazing human being. And I'm just here to experience it all of it. And so even if this doesn't work out for me, something else is going to come up. I look like I've got black under my eye. Sorry about that. Might be the angle that we're on here. You are a light worker. You're here for great things. You're here to make a huge difference and an impact on the world. And yeah, there might be a little part of you that's playing small and that knows that you can do more and be more and have more and feel more, So are you dreaming big enough in your desires, and are you daydreaming enough? Daydreams are real. Your imagination is real. It's happening on another frequency, on another timeline. The more research that they do into imagination and dreaming and daydreaming, it's you on another dimension. Like, it's possible for you. If you can dream it and imagine it, it's happening for you. And it's about collapsing time around this and knowing it's possible for you, believing in the magic again, believing in more than what you can see right now as evidence, believing that anything is possible for me, and finding the evidence with other people. This person's done this. That's evidence, because the brain wants to see the evidence that it's possible. And that's why your brain says, well, you can't do it because you haven't yet. It doesn't have the evidence. So you can get that evidence by looking at other people that have done it. And then your brain will say, yeah, but you're not like that person. And then you can answer yourself and say, good, I'm me and I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to do it that way because I'm unique. And I'm going to do what lights me up, and I'm going to do what excites me, and I'm going to do what comes easy to me. And I just know that the money will turn up. I know that I'm supported. I know that my nervous system can handle it. You know, more is coming, more is coming. Having that deep gratitude, knowing you have everything you need, and just filling up your life with more joy and more being aligned with your purpose, which is to experience life and to help others to do the same, and to just bring joy and love and sovereignty to other souls as well as yourself. But raising your frequency, raising your vitality and your frequency and your energy and your heart and your thoughts, that's what's your purpose at the moment. Like that sovereignty, you're a light worker, remembering what you're here to do. And you know, there's a lot of light workers on the planet at the moment. Some of the light workers, their humans don't realize they're a light worker, but their soul is still light working at this time. So not necessarily they're going to remember, but you do remember. And you know, your human might have a little bit of resistance, but that's just the ego getting in the way too. You know, it's not about, I'm a light worker, I'm here to do this and I'm above anyone else. No, you know, we're here together, to stand together, to raise the frequency together. There's no one above or below. And so, you know, these are the lessons right now for you to get into your sovereignty, to get into higher frequencies for yourself. They're saying higher frequencies, higher dimensions, higher thoughts, higher feelings, higher dreams. It's all higher. So I hope that resonated for you. Let me know in the comments if it did. Can't wait to hear. If you chose pile number 2, here is your reading. So the first card, as you can see, is regret. So I know that I cannot change the past. So there is, you know, always going to be regret that pops up in our mind, and it's up to us whether we hold on to those feelings and hold on to the suffering of regret. You know, it's that real victim mentality, isn't it? Of, oh, I should have done this, and self-ridicule, self-blame, self-deprecation, it's really like, almost like, you know, you didn't do this. So you really, you know, you think about the controlling mother or the controlling teacher going mad. So that's what you're doing to yourself. You're like, you should have done this. Why didn't you do this? Like that blame, that what you're doing to yourself. That's what regret is, isn't it? You know, really being hard on yourself, and really, you know, that energy is really nasty to yourself when you've got regrets. So it's time to bring in that self-love, that self-compassion, that real feeling of loving yourself, understanding that, you know, bringing in that love for the inner child and understanding that, you know, you didn't have all the information back then. Whatever happened, whatever regrets that you have, you can't change it now. And from this day forward, you're here to live a life that you love. And so focusing on that is wasteful. Focusing and blaming yourself and putting yourself down is just taking yourself down in your frequency, isn't it? So it could be a great thing to do to write down all your regrets, your top regrets, and change them. Flip them to what you'd prefer to believe, what you'd prefer to focus on, what you'd prefer to bring into your mind, bring into your body, bring into your experience now. You know, it's been proven that we can change our memories. So how can you change the memories of what actually happened? You know, it's really important for us to feel our feelings And I say this over and over again, I sound like a broken record, but if you're just listening for the first time, you know, it's really important for us to feel our feelings, but when we hold on to them and we start thinking about our feelings, we start thinking about our feelings and not just feel the feelings in our body. So you might have a feeling of sadness with the regret. So it's important to feel that feeling, but unattached to the thing, unattached to what you are sad about. So feel the sadness in your body. Allow yourself to feel sad. But the more you're running stories and videos and loops in your head over and over and over, that's when we sit in the suffering. So it's so important to feel the feelings and then let them go. Change the loop, change the story, change that video that's playing over and over and over in your mind and in your consciousness. What would you have preferred to have had happened? Play that video over and over and over. Focus on what you do want over and over and over. Let your imagination run wild with your desires and your dreams and your hopes as if they're already happening now, and get those feelings in your body coming through. Get those thoughts coming through in your mind and really experience it. Know it, feel it. Daydream as often as you can in your life, and the daydreams will come true. They really will. Doubt is the second card. So really letting go of the doubt that it's possible for you. Doubt is the killer of all your dreams. Doubting yourself that it's not possible for you. You know, it says, I release the need to know all the answers. So this is really letting go of the old programming, letting go of the old paradigm of you got to work hard to make money, hustle. You know, you got to take lots of action, move, motivation. You know, that's the real old masculine paradigm of I've got to figure it all out. I've got to get a plan and I've got to itemize it all and I've got to get organized. Instead of I'm just going to get clear on what I desire. I'm going to lift my frequency. I'm going to think amazing thoughts about myself. I'm going to feel excited knowing it's coming. I'm going to feel and imagine and dream as often as I can, as if it's already here. I'm going to have so much gratitude in my life for everything that I have. I don't need anything else in my life. I really don't have everything that I need, but I just desire more. I desire more experiences. I desire more connections. I desire more love. I desire more money just simply because I'd love it. That's it. I don't have a need for it, but I would just love to experience more joy in my life. And just having that presence of in every moment, being here, backing yourself, being here saying, you know what? I wouldn't have been born if I didn't have a purpose. I wouldn't have been born just for the sake of being born. I'm going to grab life by the balls and make the most of this experience that I'm having. Because I don't want to get to my deathbed and have regrets that I didn't live a passionate life, that I didn't just love my everyday life. Life doesn't have to be a grand adventure. You can have a grand adventure in your day-to-day life just by feeling, just by going into your garden and experiencing the wonder of whatever it is that's in your garden. Your imagination, taking yourself on a beautiful journey in your imagination. So instead of worrying thoughts and the worrying loop, let your imagination run wild. Let your imagination run free. So when those doubts step in, it's really important to flip those doubts to certainty. What would I choose to believe? What would I prefer to believe that could be true for me? I prefer to believe that it's possible. I prefer to believe that I see other people are doing it. So it's possible for me. I prefer to believe that I'm going to back myself. For the first time in my life, I'm going to fully back myself and be in this life and experience it all. Even the shit stuff, I'm going to experience it. I'm going to experience the duality. I can have love and sadness in my life at the same time. It doesn't mean anything about me. It just means I'm a human, having a human experiencing and feeling. I know millionaires that are miserable, that are lonely, that are depressed. It makes no difference. Money makes no difference in your life except the difference that you make it. Nothing has any meaning except the meaning we give it. So experience your life the way you desire to experience it. Your thoughts become feelings. Your feelings become actions. What do you desire to think? What do you desire to feel? What do you desire to do? What do you desire to experience? Take control of your thoughts, your actions, your feelings. These are the things that we can control in our life, nothing else. So instead of focusing on how am I going to do this? How's this going to happen? Focus on, it's going to happen and the feeling that it's going to feel like. And then be open to what Spirit sends you. Spirit will send you opportunities, people, little courses or things online, and be open to that. And the last card is love. Like, I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Love, gratitude, beauty. It's exactly what I was just talking about. That beautiful, like, it looks like a flower, doesn't it? That symbol, like, it's just beautiful. There's a flower in every single one of these symbols, every single one of these paintings. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. This is gratitude. This is experiencing life as an art form, as a beautiful, beautiful experience, no matter what comes at you. Life is here to be lived. Life is here to be experienced in all its glory, in all the pain, in all the beauty, all of it. We get to decide how long we hold on to the regret, how long we hold on to the doubt, how long we hold on to the love. We get to decide how we feel, what we think, and what we experience. Feel that at the core level of your soul. Your soul wants to feel, your soul wants to experience this life in all its glory. Write down your regrets, write down your doubts, and change them. Change them to what you would prefer to believe. I now choose to believe living a life I love is possible. That's a great start. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading. There's so much power in that. I can feel that passion, that potency in this reading. You've got this. It's easy to let go of the doubts and the regrets because they're all in your mind. It's the easiest thing to do is to change your mind. It all lies in you. You have the power. Easy peasy. It starts with being conscious of your thoughts. It really does. Conscious thoughts. All right, guys. Love you. Now we're going to move on to card number 3. So if you choose card number 3, pile number 3, I should say, let's go. First card is forgiveness. This is very similar to, the first pile, actually, this first card, forgiveness. Just acknowledging that resentment is like, it's a real block. Resentment stops us from manifesting. Resentment is a really low frequency. And whenever we have resentment towards anyone in a really strong way, and we have a story and a loop and a story going on in our mind over and over, and we might not even be conscious that we're allowing this story and this movie to go on in our brain, in our mind on occasion, it's giving our power away, and it's stopping us from receiving. Because the more we have resentment, the more our heart closes over. So it's really important for us to have forgiveness for the soul of the person, have forgiveness, and to realize that, we chose certain lessons to learn on this journey, and that these people, we should actually be thanking them. Our soul is probably thanking them, because it could be karma. We could have done something to them in a past life, and in this life, you're here to learn something off them and off this experience. So if someone cheated on you in a relationship, it's showing us what we don't want, number one. It's allowing us to discern our intuition more and more deeper. I didn't listen. I didn't notice. I didn't take note of that red flag. I let my emotions take over me. I wasn't using my emotional intelligence. I was just emotional about it. And we know that when we're in love, emotions flood over us and our emotional intelligence goes away. Have you ever seen women or men in a new relationship, and they go, I've met the one. I've done this before. He's the one. I just know it. He's my soulmate. I can feel it. No. That's lust. That's your emotions. That's the endorphins, all those love hormones coming in. Ever heard of love bombing? Someone coming in and just giving you all this love, and then after like 3 or 4 months, they just disappear, or they back off, or they go cold. It's a pattern. It's something that happens. So like having that resistance, that resentment, really blocks that flow, and having more compassion of understanding that this is a person going through their own experiences, with their own baggage, with their own perceptions, with their own whatever. So, calling someone a narcissist or a cheater or a loser or whatever, it really is like just judging someone, and we've all done it. We all do it. But it's time to bring compassion in, Spirit saying, stop pointing the finger at other people and start really going within and understanding more the human experience. We're all here having an experience, and people don't do, there's a very, very, very few number of people, Spirit saying that, do things, go out of their way to purposely harm other people. There's usually just their own agenda. It's just usually they're doing something and you get in the way. Everyone's just thinking about themselves, and people get in the way of that. So, people get cheated on and hurt, and some people get physically hurt. Some people, it's just that the person is just not coping with themselves. And a lot of the time, someone else gets in the way. They're controlling because that's the only way that they feel in control. Yet they're not in control. They never can be, and they never will be. So it's time to actually have compassion for these people. Hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do when the ego and the emotions are involved is to let go of needing to help people as well, Spirit's saying. If someone doesn't want your help, it's not up to you. It's never up to you to help anyone other than yourself, unless someone comes to you for help, or you have to ask them if they desire your help. So stop trying to be a saver as well, Spirit's saying. trying to save everyone, and just focus on lifting your vibration, lifting your frequency, getting your channel clear so that you can let go of resentment. Forgive yourself, forgive anyone else. I want you to write down who you need to forgive and write a forgiveness letter to them. You don't have to give it to them, but this is for you. This is purely for you to let go. Let go and even try to understand from their perspective, you know, what they were going through and the lessons that you learnt on whatever it is that you experienced. Write down the lessons you learnt or are learning now, or what realizations you're having. Through this experience, I learnt that I didn't have any boundaries in place. Through this experience, I learnt I was codependent. Through this experience, I learnt my mindset is crap and I'm in victim and I need to get out of it. And from this day forward, I'm now choosing to think better thoughts. I'm now choosing a different life. I'm now choosing a life of compassion and forgiveness and emotional intelligence. Doesn't mean I'm going to be a nun, but it means I'm going to choose to be more present and understand people more. It doesn't mean that we need to have these types of people in our energy, in our space. It doesn't make you less loving. It just means you get to live your life the way you want to live it, with integrity. And this leads into friendship. The next card, friendship. You know, friends are in your life for a reason. So if any of this forgiveness is from past friends, like through friendships and relationships, we learn the most, don't we? It brings up all our triggers. It brings up all our stuff. And so really allowing yourself to be more open your heart more to more friendships, Spirit's saying. To learn the lessons and to put more boundaries in place with friends. If you don't want to do something, learn how to say no in a loving way. You can even just say no, thank you. The end. You don't have to give reasons why. If you want to say yes, say yes. If you want to say no, say no. So this is all about, well, what boundaries would I like to put in place more and more? You know, what boundaries feel good to put in place for me and my energy? Because there's times for friendships and being with friends, and then there's times to regenerate and be with yourself, isn't there? And then the last card is pride, you know, really putting yourself first and being proud of yourself. Being proud of yourself and knowing that we are all connected, we are all one, but definitely putting yourself first. It starts with you, which is me. Me first, then you, then the collective, all of us. So it definitely, you've got to lift your vibration first. You've got to put yourself first. What do I want to do? Because if I'm saying yes just because I think I should, or I'm trying to be nice, you're really putting yourself last, and then resentment will come in. And then you'll need to forgive yourself for not saying no when you wanted to say no. And then you'll make it mean something about the person instead of taking radical self-responsibility and saying, well, I said yes when I wanted to say no. It's got nothing to do with them. So taking that responsibility, taking that pride in yourself and putting yourself first, loving yourself enough to say no when you want to say no. Loving yourself enough to say, it's up to me, you know, it's up to me to give myself the love that I deserve. If you're single and you're looking for love, the only place you're going to find it is in here. Because when we're in love with someone, we feel it inside of us. Everything is internal. Everything takes place inside of us. So if you're really wanting a relationship, start giving that love to yourself. Start feeling that love for yourself. Start taking yourself on the adventures and the dates and the experiences that you want to create in your life. Same if you're looking for friendships, new friendships. Bring in more joy and playfulness and fun into your life, because what do you want in a friendship? Laughter, fun, bring that into your life. Like attracts like. Whatever it is you desire, become it. Feel it. Whatever it is you desire, what do you desire? Why do you desire it? What is it that you want to feel when you have that desire? Bring that feeling into your life more and more. You will attract more and more. The more gratitude you have, the more things you will attract to be grateful for. The more love you feel, the more love you will bring into your life. The more happiness you feel, the more happy people you will attract into your life and happy situations. The more you allow yourself to feel sadness, all of it, the duality. You can still manifest and feel sad, but it's when we hold on to the sadness and think about the sadness and keep ourselves in the sadness, trapped in the sadness. Sadness, when truly felt in the body, will leave quite quickly. I'm not talking about grief. I'm talking just about this feeling of sadness. That it's when we keep repeating the story around why we're sad that we hold on to the suffering of being sad more and more and more. It's our thoughts that keep us in sadness and suffering. Change your thoughts. I now choose to believe tomorrow's going to be a better day. Choose a better feeling thought. I now choose to believe it's possible for me to feel better. It's possible for me to feel joy. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. And more you bring yourself out of that sadness with your thoughts. Because sadness is a feeling. And the more that we hold on to that feeling with our thoughts, the more it traps us, the more it traps that feeling in the body. So I hope that this little reading resonated with you, and bring in that pride, that self-love, that yes, I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud of how far I've come and what I've achieved in my life. Write down all the things that you're proud of. All the things that you're proud of with yourself. How unique you are. How precious you are. How much joy you bring to others' lives. How much fun are you to be around. Bring it all in. I hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.